Hey, Evan. You know how Gong likes to go out birding? He likes to take his binoculars around his neck and look at all the birds and identify them and see what different kinds of birds are around. Well, we found a special book for you called Crow Not Crow, and it's by one of my favorite authors, Jane Yolen, and another person I'm not familiar with, Adam Stempel. So they wrote this book together. They're the authors, and the illustrator is Elizabeth Dulimba. And remember, the illustrator is the one who paints the pictures. Okay, let's see what this is about. The first day Dad took me out birding, the sky was the color of Mom's old pearl ring. The trees were draped with birds. It was very noisy. See, there she's going. See, you see what's around Dad's neck? Binoculars, just like Waigong. Okay. My brothers love to go out birding with Dad. They don't have any trouble telling one bird from another, but to me, the birds look pretty much the same. Wings, beak, and legs, and sometimes when I see them flying far away, they're just blurs against the sky. Maybe the boys have better eyes. There's her big brother. He's got binoculars. There's some birds. Ooh, we'll have to ask Waigong what kind of bird that is. I think it's a swallowtail, but we'll ask him for sure because he knows and I just guess. Dad handed me a small pair of binoculars, just the right size for my hands. Your eyes are fine, he told me. You just have to learn how to see and what to look for. He pointed to a line of bugs at my feet. What do you see there? Ants. And there, he said, pointing up at a tree where a squirrel with its tail raised like an umbrella sat on a sturdy limb. A squirrel, I said. Look, see, she's looking at the ants. And now she's looking up at the squirrel. Okay. And there, he pointed out at the meadow, where birds hopped on the ground and perched in the trees and soared across the morning sky. Birds, I asked? Dad nodded. It all begins with crow, not crow. What begins? Birding, he said. He's got a little backpack on. She's got her binoculars. I wonder what that's going to mean. See the bird? Okay. We trudged into the meadow. All around us, birds were singing, hollering really. As we walked through the grass, we scared some of the birds up into the air. Before I was able to get my binoculars up to my eyes, those birds were gone. Fast, I whispered. But one bird didn't fly off. It was black as night without any moon or stars. Sitting on a tree branch, the bird glared down at me and opened its beak. Caw, caw, it said. Dad pointed at it. Crow, he said. Crow, I repeated and smiled just a little. So there they are, scaring up the birds, except for the crow. He's not scared. He's sitting up there cawing at them. Caw, caw. Now find him in your binoculars, Dad whispered, as we knelt carefully to make ourselves small. And be very still. The only parts of me moving now were my arms as I put the binoculars up to my eyes. The crow was suddenly huge. Tell me what you see, Dad said. A big black bird. See the big black bird? Is it all black? Asked Dad. The crow was so big, I had to move the binoculars around to see all of him. His wings are black. I took a deep breath. His legs are black. I took another look. Even his beak is black. And, Dad whispered, he's all black. I whispered black. All. So that is a crow. All right. Lowering my binoculars, I watched him fly away. His wingtips spread out like long black fingers. Crow, I named it. Owned it. Yeah, they're saying goodbye to the crow. There he goes. All black. Black legs, black beak, black wings. We walked through the meadow to a marshy stream. A blackbird with a red and yellow band on its wing like a medal of war sat on a cattail. He's very black, I said. Crow? Did the crow have a red medallion on his wing? Think back to what you saw before. Picture it in your head. Do you remember? Does the crow have red, a little red half of a circle? I thought about the crow. All black. Black legs, black beak, black wings, black. I shook my head. Not crow, said Dad. That is not a crow. Okay. A flock of black birds settled into a field beyond the stream. I put my binoculars up. Their feathers were dotted with white like stars in the night sky. Crow? I didn't take my binoculars off of them. What color are their beaks? Dad asked, even though I was pretty sure he knew the answer. Yellow, I said, and they have stars on their feathers. Not crow, said Dad. Let's see, can we see that their beaks are yellow? Some of them you can tell. It's hard to tell because they're in shadow and they're far away. I looked at the not crows and tried to really see them. Their yellow beaks, their night sky feathers. I spotted one in the flock that was different. It had plain black feathers and a dark beak. Hey, I whispered loudly, there's a different bird in there. Taking a deep breath, I studied my binoculars. Okay, so let's look. So first she just sees these guys. Now, oh, he's different. Do these look like crows? No, they don't. Let's see what this guy is. Does he look like a crow? That head is not black. It's all black. Is it? I looked again and squinted and stared. At last I said, no, its head is brown. Not crow, said Dad. Not crow, I repeated. A bird called from a nearby tree. Chuck, chuck, it said. It was so close that I barely needed my binoculars. It's all black, I whispered. Its wings are black. Its legs are black. Even its beak is black. I put my binoculars down and grinned up at Dad. Crow! He shook his head. Look again. I stared at the bird as it chucked at me. It was all black, but it was not crow. I tried to see the differences between crow and this bird. Really see them. It's too small. It's too small, Dad agreed. It's the wrong shape. Dad nodded. Wrong shape. And its eye is bright, I shouted, which made the bird fly off. Crow's eye is all black. Dad smiled. You remembered. I nodded. I did. So see, there's the bird that initially she thought was all black, but it's really not quite all black. And it's the wrong size and the wrong shape. It's different from a crow. Not crow, I yelled, pointing at the forked-tailed birds twisting over the meadow. Not crow at a yellow bird on a fence post with a V on its chest. Not crow at a wide-winged bird soaring over our heads. I laughed and ran, and Dad took big steps to keep up. Not crow, I called to the tiny bird with the bandit mask. Not crow to the tiny bird with the black cap and the beard. Not crow to the gray bird with the flashing wings. So she's learning to see the differences between these birds, right? Because they're all a little different. Even when they're almost alike, there's something different. See all the different birds she's seeing that are not crows. So now she knows one bird for sure. Suddenly, there he was, peering with one black eye down at me from the branch of a maple tree. Caw, caw, he said. What do you think? Crow? Crow. Crow, I named him. Dad agreed. Crow. Crow, I said. I see him, Dad. I really see him. I know, Dad said. He put his hand on my shoulder, but lightly, so he wouldn't shake my binoculars. I see him, too. Eventually, my binoculars got heavy. Eventually, the crow flew off, and eventually we headed for home, sometimes walking and sometimes pretending to fly. There they are, sort of pretending to fly. On the bird feeder near our kitchen window sat a red bird with a tiny crest on its head. Not Crow, I said, a bit out of breath. We'd walked a long way, and birding is hard work. Seeing, really seeing, is even harder. But this afternoon, or maybe tomorrow, I might learn a new bird. Maybe sparrow, not sparrow. Maybe owl, not owl, and the next day another, till I'm as good a birder as my brothers, or better. See that bird? That's a cardinal. I do know that bird. And there they are, flying away. Oh, so here's the birds. Yay. So there's a picture of a real crow, an American crow. Cool looking bird. They're super smart birds. I like crows. Let's see. This was the red-winged blackbird. Yeah, let me put it in closer for you. See it? That's the red-winged blackbird. Oh, this one over here that looked like it was almost all black. Starling. All black with a yellow beak. Oh, this one right here is a brown-headed cowbird. And, oh, this one over here that initially looked really black, but he's really sparkly when you see him in real life. He's a grackle, a common grackle. He's really pretty. Let's see if there's some more. Oh, we have barn swallows. And, oh, down here is a red-tailed hawk. And over here is, oh, this one down here is a yellowthroat. This down here. And up here is a meadowlark. And over here, let's see. This one is a black-capped chickadee. We have lots of these around here. And a meadowlark. And a cardinal. Boy, lots of fun birds, huh? And that reminded me of this book. I'm just going to show it to you really quickly because it's got great pictures of birds in it. There's an owl. It's got two of my favorite birds in it. And, oh, look at, there's a mommy with a baby bird. I don't know what kind that one is, but it's a neat picture. So this is a woodpecker. And I don't think this, unfortunately, this doesn't tell us exactly. We'd have to ask Wygong. He would know. And look at that parrot. Isn't that a cool looking bird? Wow. I like that bird. Oh, and do you know what that is? It's an eagle. Yep. Here's one of my favorites. Do you know what that is? I've painted a whole bunch of those. A flamingo. Yes. And a swan. Do you know the story of the ugly duckling? If you do, you know a swan. And there's an owl. Look at his eyes. Aren't they cool little birds? Oh, we see these in Florida, except we see brown ones. This is a white one. A pelican. And remember, this whole pouch opens way up when they swallow their fish whole. It goes right down their whole throat. It's very interesting looking. Oh, and the other favorite bird of mine, do you know what that is? A hummingbird. And we see those in the summer around here. I'm pretty sure you've seen them with me at the feeder. Yeah. I think that's the last. Oh, no, that's not. Cool. Penguins. Do you know penguins was one of your sister's favorite birds? And do you know how she said it when she was really little? She said penguins. Isn't that cute? She knows the right word, though, of course, now, because she's all grown up. Well, pretty grown up. All right, there we go. That's a fun little bird book. So that was a fun story about how to learn how to identify birds. Yay! So good night, my boy. Sweet dreams, and I love you so much. My heart to your heart.